Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the Temple for Shabbat evening services. We're so pleased you were able to join us either live or on our live stream. Our service is led this evening from Mishkan Tefillah, which you can find hopefully at your chairs. If you have a copy at home, you can follow along as well. If you don't, there's a flipbook version, a digital version that can be found in the description of our YouTube channel. Our opening song is Hine Ma Tov, how good it is and how wondrous when a community can gather as one.
Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet amim gam yachad.
It's my pleasure now to invite Sonia and Bill Fitzgerald to lead the congregation in Candles and Kiddush. For those of you who are here, please rise. Those of you on the live stream, if you'd like to rise in your hearts or from your seats, our candle blessing can be found on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As Bill leads us in the Kiddush, you can find the words on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim.
Thank you, Bill and Sonia. Everyone can please be seated. We continue with a special prayer for Mother's Day weekend, which is provided by the Union for Reform Judaism. To mothers serving our countries overseas while their children remain at home. To mothers with children in the military who pray for their children's safe return. To mothers who labor each day at jobs requiring tremendous empathy and patience. To the teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers, EMTs, and therapists who come home each night to children who need help with their homework, a shoulder to cry on, and someone to whom their feelings matter. To mothers in prison and jail and detention centers whose interactions are regulated to visiting day, visiting hours, visitation rules, and monitored phone calls. To every mother who worries about the water her children drink, the air they breathe, the school they attend, and the neighborhood they live in. To every mother who's endured the loss of a child. To widowed mothers, divorcees, single moms, welfare recipients, and Medicaid participants. To supermoms and tiger moms and working moms and stepmoms and self-doubting moms. To mothers estranged from their children and mothers who talk to them all the time. To new mothers and great-grandmothers, happy and unhappy, perfectly content and utterly exhausted. To mothers rich and poor, well-schooled and undereducated, straight, gay, bisexual, trans, mothers of every religion and race. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you do, please remember this. We wouldn't be anything, anyone, or anywhere without you. Happy Mother's Day from all your children, and let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Our service continues as we welcome the Sabbath with Lecha Dodi on page 20.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiyukad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, Lechem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 la, Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. La 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 la, Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom materet ba'ala, גם בשמחה ובבשורה, נוחמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. La la la, Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela.
We rise now on page 20 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Please rise. continue together as we read at the bottom of page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of life. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother and my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of life. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother and my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim. Page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please join us in the Shema, page 34. Please be seated.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart, and you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates, that you may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God.
Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, uv'lechtecha v'aderech, uv'shoch b'cha uv'kumecha. Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu le'totafot beninecha. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We turn to page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there's a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, osefele. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Shalom. Aleinu va'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim. Please join us in Yismachu at the bottom of 44.
ישמחו במלכותך,
שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת.
Mikarishi shivi Shabbat, kulom yisbehu v'dangu mituvecha Shabbat.
Yismechu v'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malchutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat.
V'hashvi רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חילוד יומי אותו קראת.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. זכר למעשה וראשית שבת. זכר למעשה וראשית שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We rise for the tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Koneh Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula livnei v'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo ba'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, God of our fathers and our mothers, God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, God of Sarah, God of Rebekah, God of Rachel, and God of Leah, the great, mighty, and awesome God, transcendent God, who bestows loving kindness, creates everything out of love, remembers the love of our fathers and our mothers, and brings redemption to their children's children for the sake of the divine name. Sovereign, deliverer, helper, and shield. Blessed are you, Adonai, Sarah's helper, Abraham's shield. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. You are forever mighty, Adonai. You give life to all. You rain dew upon us. You sustain life through love, giving life to all. Through great compassion, supporting the fallen, healing the sick, freeing the captive, keeping faith with those who sleep in the dust. Who is like you, source of mighty acts? Who resembles you, a sovereign who takes and gives life, causing deliverance to spring up, and faithfully giving life to all. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. Page 53. Days pass, and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. And we turn to page 61 for our prayer for peace. Please join me as we read together at the top of the page. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within its borders, health and happiness within its homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul. May the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai, Oseh HaShalom.
Please take a moment for silent prayer. Turn to page 253. In the middle of the page, you'll find the words of the Mishaberach, our prayer for hope and for healing, for ourselves, for those we love, for our family and members of our congregation and community who are in the hospital or in nursing homes or home receiving care, for all those we love and for all those we care for and for all those who care for us, for our world, for our nation, in the hope of healing and hope, holiness and peace. Please join us in these words of Mishaberach, our blessing for healing for us all.
And let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu, Mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
The bell arrived in Philadelphia on September 1st, 1752. Forged in London by order of the Colonial Assembly in honor of the 50th anniversary of the founding charter granting William Penn the authority to establish Pennsylvania as a British Crown colony. Engraved around the crown of the bell read the words, "Proclaim liberty throughout the land to all the inhabitants thereof." A text drawn from the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 10, which we read in this week's portion of the Torah. For our colonial forebearers, it was just a bell, purchased from a British foundry to commemorate the Jubilee anniversary of the founding of their colony, with a quote from the Bible chosen simply because it spoke about a Jubilee. The bell had no name. It was just a bell. When it was carried ashore, it was placed in a building that had no official name, and so it was simply called the State House Bell. And when it was lifted up and struck for the very first time to commemorate this forgotten moment in history, it cracked. The crack in the bell would become a symbol, but they knew not then what for. After careful inspection, it was determined that this untested bell had been forged out of metal too brittle to withstand the ringing. And so 2 American foundry workers named Pass and Stowe were given the cracked bell to be melted down and recast. They added 1.5 ounces of copper to every pound of the old bell in an attempt to make their new bell more pliable under stress, inscribing it with the same verse from the Hebrew Bible, which came from this week's Torah portion. Proclaim liberty throughout the land to all the inhabitants thereof. The new bell was raised in the belfry on March 29th, 1753, but upon trial it seems that they had added too much copper. Apparently nobody was pleased by the sound of the bell, and they broke it down again and recast it now a 3rd time, and on June 11th, 1753, it was fixed in the State House steeple, weighing now over 1 ton, and there it had remained for decades. They rang the bell to draw the citizenry to come vote, to hear of important news of the day. According to legend, which is almost certainly not correct, it rang out strong on July 4, 1776, from what we now call Independence Hall, to announce the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and it cracked again. The bell, still unnamed, was hidden away during the Revolutionary War, along with pretty much every church bell in Philadelphia, to keep the British from melting it down to make it into canon. But it returned to Independence Hall after the war, and it was used for years for the most mundane of things, until neighbors complained of its clamoring, and the crack had grown nearly fatal. It rang for its last time on George Washington's birthday in 1824. And then it stood silent. It was just an old bell, bearing a forgotten phrase from the Bible, and this too was a symbol still waiting to be born. It wasn't until 1844 when the old bell would gain its name. William Lloyd Garrison had adopted the symbol of the cracked bell for his Abolitionist Society publication, which was called Liberty. With the publication of an abolitionist poem in that paper entitled The Liberty Bell, a new symbol of racial justice in this land of liberty was born. The Liberty Bell became a symbol for the abolition of slavery, and it toured the country in the aftermath of the Civil War as a symbol of our broken unity and the value of liberty for us all. But liberty throughout the land for all the inhabitants thereof still remained a broken dream. A full-size replica of the Liberty Bell, complete with the words of Leviticus and the crack across its face, was forged in 1915 to be used in the national campaign to promote women's suffrage. It traveled the country with its clapper chained to the side, silent until women would receive the right to vote. On September 25th, 1920, it was brought back to Independence Hall, and it was rung for the first time for the ratification of the 19th Amendment, and it cracked again. And now the Liberty Bell has more than a name. It has a legacy. The words of the Torah, which are emblazoned on its crown, remain a call for liberty, for freedom, for justice for us all. The bell, born in revolution, immortalized as a call for racial justice, carried as an emblem of women's equality still waiting to be fulfilled. This bell, this symbol of our nation, is cracked, a token of our still struggles towards this biblical ideal which remained wrapped around its crown. This bell of liberty stands still in need of repair, in need of tikkun, as a symbol of our nation, still waiting to be healed of the injustices of our own day, to finally live up to the words of the Torah, and to become one nation with liberty and justice for all. That first poem, that abolitionist sonnet, The Liberty Bell, was written by H.R.H. Moore. It gave the bell its name, and it began with these words: "Ring loud that hallowed bell, ring it long, ring it long. Through the wide world let it tell that freedom's strong, that the whole world shall be free." Though liberty throughout the land for all the inhabitants thereof remains a broken dream, from dreams and prayers and the work of our hands, that broken bell of liberty might yet be recast, reforged, and repaired once again. May the work of our hands be blessed. May the work of our hands bring blessing. Amen.
Amen.
Our anthem in honor of Mother's Day is Limdu Heitev.
Mother's love and mother's hold, mother shaped the world we know. Mama, Ima, mama. Mothers worry, mothers feel, mothers show how well what's real. Mama, Ima, mama. And these are the things our mothers teach us. Limdu heitev, dishu mishpat, ashru chamot. Shivtu yatom, rivu almanah. Sisters laugh and sisters cry, sisters stand strong by and by. Sister, oh my sister. Sisters know you, sisters sense, sisters keep your secrets precious. Sister, oh my sister. And these are the things our sisters teach us. Limdu heitev, dishu mishpat, ashru chamot. Shivtu yatom, rivu almanah. Daughters wonder, daughters share, daughters make the whole world care. Daughter, precious daughter. Daughters push us, daughters sigh, daughters make us ask God why. Daughters, precious daughters. And these are the things our daughters teach us. Limdu heitev, dishu mishpat, ashru chamot. Shivtu yatom, rivu almanah.
Continue with the reading before the Kaddish, which is found on page 288. When I die, give what is left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, Put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. If you want to leave me something better than words or sounds, look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that is left of me is love, give me away. This week in our congregation, we remember particularly the names of John A. Danello, Shirley Tanchester Reese, Bob Green, Bert Bleeden, Philip Feidelson, Bert Brooks, Isabel Hellman, Ruth Smiley, Betty Gordon, Simon Blumenson, Sidney Weinstein, Wolford Trow, Lee Eppinger, Walter Lowen, Louis Koppel, David Frankel, Rabbi Joseph Gallinger, John Abramson, Nathan Lerman, Samuel Rapport, Leon Seidman, Florence Ross, Bessie Goldberg, Fanny R. Fink, Molly Hornstein, Marilyn Nathanson, Selma Comer, Wes Adams, Herman Shapiro, Gilbert Rosenstein, Victor Malkin, Arthur Mann, Morris Aaron Weinberg, and Robert Loeb. And two who passed away in recent days, Bernice Rosenberg and Jennifer Chaplin. Zichronam livracha. May all their memories be for us as blessings as we rise on page 294 for the Kaddish. Yidkadal v'yidkadash shemei Rabbah, balma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, bagala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'mei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'rechu, le'lo min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, Damiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Our closing song is the Angel's Blessing.
May our right hand bring us closer to our godliness. May our left hand give us strength to face each day. And before us may our visions light our paths ahead, and behind us may well-being heal our way. All around us is Shekhinah, all around us is Shekhinah, all around us is Shekhinah, all around us is Shekhinah.
Eloheinu v'Elohei imotenu v'avotenu, our God and God of our mothers and fathers. We give thanks for the generations of love and of life that have brought us unto this day. We give thanks for their wisdom and their guidance, and we hope that we might be worthy inheritors of all the blessings that they have bestowed upon us. And may we be worthy ancestors of the generations yet to come. We ask God's blessing upon all who are gathered here, on all who share, and on the community in which we live. Yivarechecha, Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you from harm. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's blessings be upon you and bring you the blessing of peace. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thanks for joining in.
And happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.